Imagine that, hidden within the very center of your brain, there is a sacred gateway, an inner temple that sages, mystics, and enlightened beings have revered for millennia. What if I told you that this gateway, the pineal gland, holds the key to the miraculous powers demonstrated by Jesus Christ himself? What if activating this small, mysterious organ could awaken a profound Christ consciousness within you, enabling you to manifest miracles, heal your life, and reconnect with the universal source of creation? Today you and I are going to embark on a journey that bridges the ancient wisdom of spiritual traditions with modern understandings of human consciousness. You will discover how Jesus Christ, through the radiant activation of his pineal gland, accessed states of divine awareness that transcended the limitations of the material world. You will also learn how you can begin to unlock this same potential within yourself. And stay with me until the end, because the last revelation I will share is the most powerful of all, a transformative secret that can shift the course of your destiny and illuminate your path like never before. Before we dive deeper, take a moment to subscribe to this channel. Leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. By doing this, you help this message reach more seekers who are ready to remember their divine essence. Together, we can create a ripple of awakening across the world. And I promise you, what you are about to learn may forever change the way you perceive your existence, your purpose, and the limitless nature of your spirit. For centuries, philosophers and mystics have insisted that the pineal gland is far more than a biological curiosity. Descartes, the great French philosopher, called it the seat of the soul. Ancient Egyptians revered it as the eye of Horus, a symbol of spiritual perception and higher awareness. In India, yogis spoke of the third eye chakra, an energy center governing intuition and divine insight. These traditions, scattered across continents and epochs, all point to the same astonishing conclusion. Within your own mind resides a doorway to infinite consciousness. The pineal gland, shaped like a tiny pine cone and nestled between the two hemispheres of your brain, governs the production of melatonin and serotonin, chemicals that regulate your sleep and mood. But beyond these physiological functions, modern science has begun to explore its capacity to generate dimethyltryptamine, or DMT, sometimes called the spirit molecule, a substance linked to visionary experiences and transcendent states of awareness. When activated, the pineal gland appears to function as a receiver, attuning your consciousness to frequencies of reality that are usually hidden from ordinary perception. Think about this for a moment. If Jesus taught that the kingdom of God is within you, could it be that he was referring not to a metaphorical place, but to a literal sacred organ, designed to bridge the finite self and the infinite spirit? According to many esoteric traditions, Christ consciousness is not an exclusive gift reserved for one extraordinary being, but a universal potential encoded within every human being. This is why early Gnostic Christians believed that the spark of divinity resides in all people, waiting to be kindled into a living flame. Imagine the profound impact on your life if you could consciously activate this spark. What miracles might unfold if you began to perceive reality as Christ did, unclouded by fear, doubt, or separation? What transformations would occur if you could align your thoughts and emotions with the frequency of unconditional love, the same love that Jesus demonstrated through every word and deed? In his seminal work, The Biology of Belief, cellular biologist Bruce Lipton demonstrates that our beliefs can literally reprogram our biology. This means that the conviction you hold about yourself and your place in the universe can either limit or expand your reality. When you engage practices that awaken the pineal gland, meditation, breathwork, visualization, you are not merely engaging in spiritual ritual. You are activating a biological mechanism designed to awaken the highest potentials of human consciousness. Take a deep breath and consider the possibility that you are far more powerful than you have ever imagined. Beneath your conditioned thoughts and inherited fears lies a vast luminous awareness capable of creating, healing and transforming. This is not an abstract idea, but a living truth demonstrated by the greatest spiritual teachers across history. Jesus was not simply a messenger of faith. He embodied the potential of humanity fully realized. And if he could do it, so can you. Have you ever wondered why so many ancient civilizations placed symbols of the pine cone in their sacred architecture? From the staff of Osiris in Egypt to the giant pine cone sculptures at the Vatican, this motif appears again and again as a hidden clue. Some scholars like Dr. Rick Strassman, who pioneered research on DMT, suggest that these symbols encode a universal recognition of the pineal gland as the gateway to higher consciousness. It is as if our ancestors were leaving us a trail of breadcrumbs across time, guiding us back to the secret of our own divine nature. As you continue watching, you will discover practical steps to purify and activate this sacred organ. You will learn how ancient techniques align your pineal gland with cosmic energies, and how by doing so, you open yourself to experiences of profound intuition, inspiration and divine connection. And remember, the final revelation I will share with you today is the most transformative of all. A secret that has been hidden in plain sight, waiting patiently for you to remember. Pause for a moment and reflect. What if your life, with all its struggles and triumphs, has been preparing you for this very moment of awakening? What if right now you are being called to remember who you truly are? A divine being with the power to heal, to create, and to manifest miracles beyond your wildest dreams. In the next part of our journey, we will explore the precise methods by which Jesus may have awakened his pineal gland, the profound states of consciousness he accessed, and how you can begin to follow this path yourself. Stay with me, because each step brings you closer to a new reality, a new self and a new life. To understand how Jesus may have activated his pineal gland and achieved Christ consciousness, we must first look beyond the surface of religious texts and into the heart of their symbolic wisdom. Jesus was more than a historical figure. He was a living embodiment of divine awareness. His miracles, his teachings, and his unshakable connection with the source were not anomalies. They were the natural expression of someone who had fully awakened the divine within. Let us consider the period of Jesus' life that remains largely unaccounted for. In the biblical canon, the so-called lost years, many spiritual scholars such as Paramahansa, Yogananda and Edgar Cayce have suggested that Jesus traveled through Egypt, India and Tibet during this time, studying the sacred sciences and spiritual disciplines that had been preserved by ancient lineages. In these lands, he would have encountered yogic teachings, practices to open the third eye, and methods to cleanse the inner temple, the pineal gland in the Eastern tradition. Awakening the third eye is often associated with intense meditation, prolonged stillness, and focused inner vision. Jesus himself withdrew into the wilderness for 40 days, a symbolic gesture mirrored in various traditions of initiation and purification. In the Gospel of Matthew, it is written that the eye is the lamp of the body. If your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Many scholars believe this refers to the third eye, the pineal gland, which, when illuminated, fills the seeker with spiritual light, wisdom and insight. The pineal gland, like any organ, can be trained and awakened through specific techniques. Practices such as sun gazing at dawn, silent meditation, with attention focused between the eyebrows, breath work, like alternate nostril breathing and chanting, sacred syllables like Om create resonance in the brain that stimulates the gland. These are not superstitions. They are supported by studies in neuroplasticity and the mind-body connection. Meditation, for example, has been proven to alter brain chemistry, increasing levels of serotonin and DMT, like states of consciousness. The Bible often uses allegory to conceal deep esoteric truths when Jesus tells Nicodemus that no one can enter the kingdom of God unless they are born again. He is not referring to a simple ritual. He is pointing toward an inner transformation, a rebirth of consciousness. This rebirth is not a one-time event, but a journey of awakening, a return to the sacred center within. Activating the pineal gland is one of the keys to this process. It is the inner resurrection, the rising of the divine light within your temple. You are that temple the scriptures tell us. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit? This is not a metaphor to be ignored. It is a call to sacred responsibility. Within your physical being lies a divine architecture, designed to commune with higher realms of intelligence and love. When Jesus said the kingdom of God is within you, he was delivering one of the most powerful truths ever spoken. Modern neuroscience is now beginning to catch up with what the mystics always knew. Research conducted at the University of Michigan has revealed that the brain releases DMT during near-death experiences, moments of deep meditation, and other altered states of consciousness. This is highly significant because it affirms what spiritual teachers have claimed for centuries, that the pineal gland is the biological mechanism by which we access other dimensions of reality. As you awaken your pineal gland, your perception begins to shift. You become aware of the patterns beneath reality, the synchronicities, the energies, the subtle frequencies guiding your experience. You begin to dream with more clarity, receive intuitive insights, and sense a connection to all life. These are not illusions. They are glimpses of a deeper reality, one that Jesus accessed fully and demonstrated through his miracles. And what are miracles, if not the natural result of consciousness, aligned with divine truth? Walking on water, healing the sick, multiplying food. These were not magic tricks. They were expressions of mastery over the material realm, through alignment with universal law. When you raise your consciousness, when your pineal gland opens, and you resonate with the frequency of unconditional love, reality itself begins to bend around your intentions. You may be wondering, how do I begin? How do I purify my mind and body so that the pineal gland can awaken? The answer is not complicated, but it requires commitment. Cleanse your body through a diet rich in life-giving foods. Avoid fluoride and toxins known to calcify the pineal gland. And spend time in nature. Practice mindfulness. Silence your thoughts and sit with your breath. Over time you will feel a subtle change. A tingling at the center of your forehead. A warmth, a knowing. This is the stirring of the Christ within. And now let me ask you, what would your life look like if you lived from this awakened place? How would your relationships change? If you saw each person as a reflection of the divine, how would your fears dissolve? If you truly believe that you are one with the Creator, capable of miracles just as Jesus demonstrated, do not take my word for it. Explore it, ask for signs. Go into meditation and speak directly to the divine presence within you. Say, open my inner eye. Show me who I am. This simple act of devotion, done sincerely and repeatedly, will begin to shift your vibration. It will call forth the energy that Jesus called the Father, the Source, the light of the world. As we go further into this journey, we will examine sacred texts, lost teachings, and the role of geometric resonance in awakening the pineal gland. We will look at how the ancients encoded knowledge into architecture, language, and symbol to protect the truth through ages of darkness. And most importantly, we will arrive at the final revelation, the one truth that has been hidden in plain sight, and that has the power to set you free. You are not just watching a video. You are receiving a call to awaken. You are being invited to activate your divine inheritance and walk the path of Christ consciousness, not as a follower but as a living embodiment of it. Throughout time, countless civilizations have left behind cryptic messages, stone carvings, and sacred writings that point to the pineal gland. as the bridge between the human and the divine. The Egyptians called it the Eye of Horus, a symbol of spiritual vision that transcends the limits of ordinary sight. The Greeks named it the seat of thought. The Hindus described it as the Ajna Chakra, the center of inner perception. And early Christian mystics spoke of the single eye, that when opened, fills the whole body with light. But perhaps the most remarkable testament comes from the life of Jesus himself. His words and deeds were consistently centered on awakening consciousness. When he healed the blind, he was not merely restoring physical sight. He was demonstrating that spiritual blindness, our inability to see the truth of who we are, is the deepest affliction of humanity, and he gave us the path to overcome it: faith, love, surrender, and the cultivation of inner stillness. You see, to activate your pineal gland and step into the frequency of miracles, you must first quiet the turbulence of your mind. Jesus often withdrew to solitary places to pray, not because he needed isolation, but because in the silence, he could commune with the source without distraction. Modern neuroscience supports this principle. Studies have shown that meditation reduces activity in the default mode network, the part of the brain associated with ego-driven thinking, and increases coherence between the brain's hemispheres. This coherence creates a field in which the pineal gland can function as it was intended, as a transducer of higher states of awareness. Imagine your mind as a lake. When the waters are stirred by fear, anxiety, and constant thought, you cannot see the reflection of the sky above. But when the surface becomes calm and still, it becomes a perfect mirror, reflecting the divine light of consciousness. This is the state Jesus embodied: total alignment with the infinite. And from this alignment miracles flowed naturally. Have you ever felt, even for a moment, that time slowed down, your senses sharpened, and everything seemed to be connected by an invisible intelligence? These glimpses are evidence of the higher consciousness that awaits you. They are the whispers of the Christ within, calling you home to your true nature. There is a profound teaching found in the Gospel of Thomas, a collection of sayings attributed to Jesus that were hidden for nearly 2 millennia. In it he declares, "If those who lead you say to you, 'See, the kingdom is in the sky,' then the birds of the sky will precede you. If they say to you, 'It is in the sea,' then the fish will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is inside of you and it is outside of you. When you come to know yourselves, then you will be known and you will realize that you are the children of the living Father." This passage is not a riddle. It is a roadmap. The kingdom is within your consciousness, accessible through the awakening of your inner eye, the pineal gland. When you truly understand this, you realize that nothing outside you holds the power to grant you freedom. It has always been within. Many seekers wonder if this awakening requires years of study or retreat, while dedication and discipline are valuable. The first and most crucial step is a simple willingness to see beyond the illusion of separation. It is the humility to acknowledge that, like every prophet and sage, you too are a vessel of the divine. This recognition alone begins to dissolve the barriers that obscure your inner light. As you practice meditation, breathwork, and contemplation, you will notice subtle changes. You may feel pressure or warmth between your eyebrows. You may have vivid dreams, flashes of insight, or a sense of presence that seems to watch your thoughts. These are signs that the pineal gland is awakening. Welcome them without fear. The ancient texts assure us that when the eye is opened, all darkness is dispelled. Now I invite you to reflect. What stories have you been told about your own unworthiness? What beliefs have you inherited that keep you small and disconnected from your power? Are you willing to release these illusions and embrace the truth that you are a being of light, destined to manifest miracles just as Jesus did? In his book The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle describes the awakening of presence as a return to your natural state. This presence is the awareness behind your thoughts, the stillness from which all creation emerges. The pineal gland as a biological receiver. It tunes you to this presence, enabling you to live each moment as a conscious expression of the divine. Consider the possibility that Jesus did not come merely to be worshipped, but to serve as a living example of what you can become. When he said you will do even greater things than these, he was not speaking metaphorically. He was planting a seed of remembrance in every heart. And so I ask you, what would happen if you dared to believe that? The same light that moved through Jesus moves through you. How would your life change if you chose to step fully into your divine inheritance? What miracles would you allow yourself to witness, to create, to become? Stay with me, because in the next part of our journey, we will explore the precise steps to decalcify and awaken the pineal gland. You will discover the ancient rituals, the sacred sounds and the vibrational techniques that align your body and spirit with the frequency of Christ consciousness. And in the final revelation, you will learn the hidden truth that has been carefully guarded through the ages. A truth so powerful that once understood, it can transform your entire experience of reality. Take a deep breath, feel the presence within you. Know that you are standing at the threshold of something extraordinary. This is your invitation to remember, to awaken and to embody the miraculous. Now that you understand the sacred significance of the pineal gland and its connection to Christ consciousness, the question arises: how can you activate it fully and maintain its awakening in a world so deeply entrenched in distraction, distortion and spiritual amnesia? The answer lies in remembering that awakening is not an event. It is a path, and like every sacred path, it is marked by intention, devotion and alignment. The ancients knew that the body is a vessel, and like any sacred temple, it must be purified for divine light to dwell within. The pineal gland is no exception. Over time, exposure to environmental toxins, fluoride, processed foods, electromagnetic pollution, and emotional trauma causes it to calcify. But just as it can be clouded, it can be cleared. Begin with your physical temple. Nourish it with pure living foods. Eliminate what poisons the system. Refined sugars, artificial additives, heavy metals. Drink clean water free of fluoride. Supplement with herbs, long used to decalcify the pineal gland. Raw cacao, blue-green algae, turmeric, neem and raw apple cider vinegar. Sunlight in moderation, especially during sunrise and sunset, stimulates the gland and restores its natural rhythm. But physical purification is only part of the process. You must also cleanse your thoughts, your emotions and your energy. The pineal gland responds to the frequency of your inner world: fear, anger, jealousy and guilt. Cloud it: gratitude, love, humility and peace. Activate it. Make meditation your sanctuary. Find a quiet place each day to sit in stillness. Close your eyes and bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. Visualize a brilliant indigo light glowing at your center. Breathe deeply. Let your thoughts pass like clouds. Speak an affirmation of truth. I am light, I am love. I am one with the divine source. Sound is another key. Sacred vibrations like OM or the solfeggio frequency 963 Hz create harmonic resonance that awakens the pineal gland. Chant, hum or listen in silence, allowing the sound to penetrate your inner temple. These frequencies, used for centuries in spiritual rituals, harmonize your body and reconnect you with the cosmos. In ancient temples of Egypt, priests would undergo initiations in darkness, remaining for days without light, to stimulate the pineal gland's production of DMT and open the gates of divine vision. It is said that in these altered states, they received sacred knowledge from higher realms. Jesus himself may have undergone similar initiations, hidden from public view, but encoded in parables and symbols. As your pineal gland activates, you may begin to experience signs, vivid dreams, moments of déjà vu, heightened intuition, a sense of presence watching over you. You may begin to see patterns in your life as meaningful rather than random, and feel an inexplicable connection to something greater than yourself. But here lies the most important revelation of all. The one you've been waiting for. The pineal gland is not just a gateway to higher perception. It is the cradle of divine birth within you. The story of Jesus is not meant to be merely admired. It is meant to be lived. Christ consciousness is not the domain of a single person, but the inheritance of all humanity. This is the ultimate mystery revealed. You are the Christ waiting to be born within yourself. The crucifixion, the resurrection, the ascension. These are not only historical or theological events. They are archetypal stages of awakening. The crucifixion represents the death of the ego, the surrender of the false self. The resurrection is the rebirth of divine awareness within. The ascension is the return to unity with the source. When Jesus said, "I and the Father are one," he was not elevating himself above humanity. He was showing us what we all are. When we strip away illusion, the divine spark is not outside you. It is you, and when the pineal gland opens, when your inner eye sees clearly, you will know this not as an idea, but as a living reality pulsing through every breath, every heartbeat, every moment. Let this truth sink deep into your soul. You were never separate, never forgotten, never lost. You are the miracle you have been searching for. Everything you need to awaken is already within you. The pineal gland is the divine receiver, the spiritual antenna tuned to the mind of God. It is how Christ consciousness is transmitted from the eternal into your waking life. And the moment you open yourself to this truth fully, humbly and with faith, your life begins to transform. Synchronicities multiply, inspiration floods your mind. You begin to attract people, experiences, and opportunities aligned with your higher purpose. Love flows freely from you. You begin to remember. You realize that everything in your life, even the pain, was part of your preparation to awaken now. And now, beloved seeker, I leave you with this final question. A question that no one else can answer for you. Will you walk the path of Christ consciousness? Not as a belief but as your living truth. If your answer is yes, then begin today. Close your eyes, breathe into your center. Call upon the light within. Say from your heart, let the Christ be born in me. This is your moment, the time is now. The kingdom is within you. The pineal gland is your key. And your soul, your radiant eternal soul, is ready to awaken. If this message has stirred something deep within you, share it, let others feel what you have felt. Subscribe to this channel. Comment your thoughts. And join this sacred movement of awakening. You are not alone, you are part of something vast, beautiful and divine, and never forget. You are not here to follow the light. You are here to become it. Thanks for looking.